Welcome back, everyone, and this is episode 51 of the SNG Experience. This week we're going to be working on just the Enterprise, and there are some little odds and ends going to be thrown in, but we are working so hard to finish that for the museum. I'm hoping to wrap it up in the next 3 weeks because we have a project coming up, and that we're going to do. Which is episodes, 30-minute episodes for the internet. You'll be able to stream it and watch it, and it's going to be available for Patreon subscribers, or you can go to vhx.com on our site there and pay to see it per view. Now we're going to start shooting November, so don't start getting ready to watch it just yet. But we should be. It's my hope that by January we'll have the first episode up, and after that we're going to do 30-minute episodes every month. And my old friend Whitley Strieber is going to host it, which is really exciting, and it's going to be on the paranormal, and it's going to be based on true stories, or a true story. So and you might see some of these guys in it. So that's what we're doing, that's what we're up to. Let's get to work on the Enterprise and a few other really cool goodies. Well, unfortunately, as luck would have it, did you love the lighting? Yeah, the internal memory card on this one ran out of juice as I was painting it. But basically, I was painting it, and now it's got this nice, thick, even coating of the right color on it. You can see the difference between the two. There is a big difference. This is the actual color, which matches the one that I have. And it's still a little damp, I'm seeing, because it is so humid. But now we're ready. Also, there's not that white area of resin. We are ready to go ahead and put some windows in, and then some lights, and then some rooms behind here, and make an attempt at finishing this off completely today before I have to leave the studio at 4 o'clock. So what you're seeing here is some shiny clear stuff, which is actually window maker, they call it, some people call it window maker. It says right there, window maker. It's Tester's canopy glue, and what I did is very painstakingly, and you cut some windows. See them glistening. They are flush with the outer surface because this was so thick I didn't want to just put it behind here. At least on these it's not so thick, the frame, and if I put in every window the way I did on this, I'd go out of my mind. But they look nice, and as much as you're gonna be really zoomed in on them. The tape is covering up the portholes. I tried to get some clear in there, but I really couldn't do it. So an old trick, since I'm not using dental acrylic, I want this to be pretty clear, is you pour that stuff in there, and you've got tape from the outside, and then that dries clear, and later we pull the tape off, and you have nice little clear windows. Good old Boyd Compton turned me on to that, watching his videos. See? What I want to do next is, and I forgot, those two portholes, is I'm going to tape those up and put them in. I'm going to put the 2 red lights in here, and I'm going to build 2 little kind of roomy things for that area there, and put some lighting in there. We'll see how this all looks. It's amazing sometimes what you can get done in 3 hours. That's right. This is the bridge. Now, of course, this is just sort of sitting on here, okay? I just sort of laid it on top, and there is some distortion and some warpage of the material from sitting around for a long time. And we got a little light leak down here, so I'm gonna have to put some light blocking material behind the edge. But overall, it's we got the red light in, the windows are in, and there's some cobwebs in there that I'm gonna have to deal with, but that's not a problem. But you can see you've got the feeling of kind of some rooms behind there and stuff. And up here we've got our bridge, and you got to realize that when people actually see this bridge at the museum, and even with the cameras, maybe the camera will zoom in like that, but that's what they're going to see. And of course in HD it really makes it show up. I was talking about this. You know, your eyes can see, your eyes do not see the way this camera sees, unless you're Superman. You're not able to put your eye up to this that close and see in there. But the cameras can, and I'm assuming that the HD cameras that are going to have on this will get, you know, about there. And that's basically what you're going to see. But it's cool, and again, you can just make out that there's something behind these windows up here. There's something going on back there. There's our little portholes we made with the window glue, which worked out really good. I'm going to dim some of the lights just to get a feel for how this is going to look. But this has really come out really well. And here we go again. You can see what I'm going to have to do is go on the inside of this and block this, because you know I'm not gonna. Well, I could mask these windows and put more paint on, but because that is really quite a bright glow coming out of there. Of course, the camera makes it look worse, but that's the bridge. That's what they're going to be able to see. But it's going to not be dark in the museum. We have to remember too. So, but that looks really, really cool. Monday, and I'm back at the Enterprise. Aren't I enthusiastic? I really am. It's really who I am. And we had a little problem. I had broken the back on this and realized that really just alone that the strength of the Plex really isn't strong enough. And so I had to put in a nice bar in there of aluminum, and this thing is rock solid and it is not moving, and I could sit a person out of the end of that and it wouldn't break. Plus it's nice and level, and it's nice and level this way as well. So we are in good shape on that, and that took some of my time. But I also have been drilling out all the holes on this because, as you know, these are lit and they're really not windows. They're sort of frosted glowy thingy bingies. I had some areas that were pretty warped, and I repaired them, but there's like this kind of lumpy bumpy stuff you can see when the light hits it just right. So what we're going to do to that is we're going to take some Evercoat to it, and we're getting this whole edge pretty true because it was a real bad part when I pulled it out of the mold, and I didn't want to waste this much resin. It's just a flat disc. We can fix this. Why make another one? The molds are iffy at best. So I'm going to fix that. I'm also going to put some dental acrylic in there, and I want to attach the bridge to that and blend it off in there. And then we're going to work on doing some rooms. This is the old original test room I did a while ago, but we're going to put rooms in all these locations going all the way around, which there aren't many, and then close up the softer section after we put some lights in it. So I should have shown you what I did. I put some Evercoat on there on the bad areas. Now all this is nice and smooth the way it should be within reason. And there's like a little funny thingy bingy there, but it's not really going to be a problem. But these areas are very rough, and so what I ended up doing was taking Evercoat, and then I used this. You know, I'm sitting there sanding by hand. I go, really? This is nice and flat, and you can. So, and I did it, and I just got rid of all the valleys and all the mountains, and this came out real smooth again. So once I get this actually mounted to up here, all the lights and everything, and I glue it down to the edges and putty it, and straighten it all out and point it up, then I'll go back over it again with the same sander, and I'll be able to see where the problem areas are and fill them and stuff. But I wanted to get all this stuff cut first, to get this etched so I can see where to put the bridge back, and get this all smooth, and then put in the window material before I did any of that. Okay, so we're making a lot of progress here. I did not get to put in the dental acrylic in these areas, or even run the lights in there, but I did manage to get another room down in there, which is really, really cool. I don't know why I do sound effects, but it's important sometimes. That's looking really cool. It takes a minute for the camera to focus. You get the idea. They're in there. And we have another one over here, which I'm still working on. There aren't that many in the saucer section, which is good. So we got to do one here tomorrow. There's nothing over here, a little bit here, and that's it, because this side of the model wasn't seen by camera. Of course, we have the room there already, but we got to put the rest of them in there too. So basically, we're going to make all the rooms, get all those in place, put the figures in there that are in fact the people who put in the $100 donations. And this is now very, very straight because of the putty work I did. Of course, once I actually make it level to that all the way around, which is what I'm going to have to do, is go around and force all that down in. But we're not going to do that until we get all the other working lights in first, and then we'll seal that top up. So, and put that on permanently with our wonderful bridge. So this is looking really, really good, and I'm really, really pleased. I always say that, I know, but it's the truth. And we've got windows to put down here. I'm not going to have any rooms in here, but I'm just going to put the windows, and you'll get the feeling that there's something going on down there. Of course, we're going to put down the that, I forget what it's called, down here too, and light that up. So we're going to try to get as much done in the saucer section as we can. We did a lot for a Monday. I think it's worked out really well, and it's nice and level in all directions, and we're getting a nice fit on the saucer section all the way around, which is really good. So I can, because when it's level to that edge there, it's level all the way around. Then I'm going to putty it too, but I am battling on. I'm excited. It's just really cool to get this stuff done. You can see the rooms in there as well, and it's got my dome, which I have to put a little lip on the inside there that rests on, so it doesn't keep falling inside. So that we have that. So more on this build tomorrow. Welcome back, and it's what, Tuesday now? Tuesday, and I'm doing a Brian De Palma shot for you. Oh, just kidding. What was I going to show you? Yes, we are doing a Cochran statue for my dear old friend Doug Murray and Pam Murray, who I've known for ages and ages, at the request of Doug Drexler, who wanted to give them a gift, and I said, no, let me do that. I'll take care of this. We'll get them a nice one. You just have to get your sorry butt up here to SNG, because you've been so busy on Defiance, and sign it. And while he's here, he could sign mine too. Some of you are wondering, what is a Cochran statue? Because there's a lot of new people joining our channel, and VHF, and VHX, and Patreon. I'll show you. And here we are. This is the Cochran bust. And of course, Zefram Cochrane was the father of warp drive in the Star Trek history. You might have remembered, if you watched First Contact, the first true Star Trek Next Generation movie. He appeared in that movie, and the story is that oh yes, Doug sculpted this. Doug Drexler sculpted this to be used in the Star Trek Encyclopedia, which later was used for set decoration when they went to do Star Trek Enterprise with Scott Bakula. And in fact, this was in his room. If you went into his quarters, this was in the background and was somewhat featured. He even used it to beat an alien over the head with. And Doug will tell you a great story about that at one time, but that's the short story. And mine is missing the signature because I sent mine to a gentleman in Germany who wanted one, and Doug was so busy working it was hard to get a signature. So I said, look, I'll send you mine, I'll make another one, I'll get Doug's signature back again. He said, great. So he got mine, and these are the simulated marble bases that are done for him, that Jeff Helps is doing for me, and that now I have taken over doing, and I learned how to do it, and I think I did a pretty good job. Doug's only criticism of them that they're a little too dark the way I've been doing. He asked me to put to make them look lighter, like Talos. Remember Jason and the Argonauts? If you're into this stuff and you haven't seen Jason and the Argonauts,
then you're not into this stuff. You need to go back and look at the old Ray Harryhausen movies and watch Jason and the Argonauts. You'll see the big metal statue, Talos, stomping on everybody and breaking up boats at sea, and he is a lot lighter than this. He's more bronzy. This is bronze paint, but it's too light, and I always thought that too, but now I know. Thank you, Doug. So that's what we're going to do. Anyway, now we're going to get back to the Enterprise.
Wow, this is fun. I really like this one. You know, well, of course I like it. It's the Enterprise, but we've got one room floor there. This is one floor. These right across here. And what amazes me is that you could even look through the porthole and see stuff in there. If I can get it the right angle. I got the lens like literally right up against there. And then let's see, now we look down here and it's overexposing, darn it, but there's another floor down here. This is, so in other words, there's a ceiling here, there's a ceiling going right between these, and so that there's another room down there, and it's just so bright I'm not being able to see it, the room in there, but it is in there. Just the same way these are, you can see it in there. And there's a ceiling up there as well with the lights overhead. So, oh, there you can see some of that going by. So that's really cool. And then over here, we've got this one here. And you can see in the rooms there, little table and stuff. I mean, it really isn't necessary to have too much. I am going to have people standing in the window, and those are the people who paid the figures are printed up of their picture hooked to a Star Trek body. A bunch of drawings that Doug Drexler did of the different Star Trek uniform types from TOS Star Trek, and but you know, by the time I put the heads on there and shrink them down to this size here, I mean, you can't make them out. So that's why, even if we'd had the 3D printed ones that Ken Palco was doing, you're not going to recognize the person's face. It's just too darn small. So as I said before, everybody sent their picture in. And if you're watching this, you might want to send it again. Get yourself a Star Trek uniform. Get yourself a Star Trek drag. Take a nice picture of yourself from head to toe, being silly or being serious, or, you know, like Elliot Brown did. Elliot did a great job, and you can see the pictures going by he sent me. I would suggest you do something like that, because that's going to be on a computer screen, and I know you're listening to this, Greg Vigiano, our fearless leader of the Museum of Science Fiction in Washington, D.C. Right down here, we need to have an interactive computer screen, or maybe, because no one's going to be allowed to be that close to it, maybe out here, so that you can access the people and their pictures of them that donated $100 or more to the building of this. Their name is on the plaque, their name is in the computer, and there will be a little locator map that will show you that, okay, here's Doug Drexler, and he's on the left side of the ship, and there he is standing in the window. That's Doug Drexler. And then back here, that's someone else. And so that's kind of how we're going to do it. No one will obviously be able to get this close to the ship, but that's how we're handling that. So I'm going to put some more rooms and more lights in the saucer section because I want to button it up. So what I'm doing now is I'm making little rooms like this, and cutting and pasting graphics I made in Photoshop, and you end up with an effect like this. So no one's going to get that close to it, but even from this distance, being back from the railing that'll be in the museum, as you walk, you can see that there's things in there, and that's the effect that we're going for. No one's going to get up there like this, you know, but even if they did, there's still some good, you know, you can see chairs and tables and all that kind of stuff in there. So it's really, really quite nice. So I'm going around, you can see the wiring I got going all the way around, and each one goes to a certain location and lights up a certain box. Now what I'm doing is hitting these with a light gray primer, because basically the interior of the Enterprise is light gray. And like so, here's one of the boxes. Now this is ready to put the graphic inside, and then this is a really small little room, and that goes over here. Again, there wasn't much on this side because after all, nobody saw this side of the ship ever. But people may in the museum. I don't know. We're going to find out. But you see those fit in there pretty good. So that's basically what I'm doing. I didn't make them fit flush to the edge of the wall because no one can see at this very angle inside. So really just need to have that impressionism of there being a room in there. Now, I do believe that takes care of all the rooms. For the life of me, I don't understand exactly how these worked. Okay? And this one here. If there was a room there, the floor would be slanting away from you with holes in it, which I thought would have been kind of cool to show. But for these, I'm just going to put windows across there and light them up. Well, that's it for a Tuesday here, but I got a lot done on this, and I suppose tomorrow I'll have all the lighting in the saucer section, but I did get all the rooms done, and I don't have all the furniture and the people in there yet. We have that to do yet. Mary will be helping with that tomorrow. You can see in there. And it looks really nice, but you know, again, nobody's really going to see it like that. They're going to see it like this when it decides to focus. I'm tired. Yes, I'm definitely tired today. I wanted to get this model done and to the museum. I know there's a room in there. There's the door to open, and we got these lights in here, and we got a lot of lights in down here. In fact, they're all in. What's left to get in, of course, is Randy Newbert's Voodoo Effects nav board. We're going to get the lights blinking, the nav lights. We're also going to get some other stuff lit up. Of course, you know the bridge is lit up, and that dome really has to be dealt with. But down here we have all these lights, and they're all lit up, and the windows are all in. And then this piece here will go like that, and you can see that is glowing, but it needs to glow a great deal more. And of course, this still has to be pointed up a bit, and the windows are in, which means that I have to mask them all off, but I do have masks for them from Lou to affect that. So we're going to tidy up this bridge tomorrow, put in the remaining lighting, and do some light blocking and stuff, and probably the next day I'm hoping to close it up and seam it and all that kind of stuff. See you tomorrow. Okay, we are finishing up this Cochran for the Cochran statue for Doug Murray and Doug Drexler. Yes, Doug Drexler, and here it is. You know, it came out really, really nice. I don't know if I showed it to you already. I might have. There's the can't make it squeak. But and here's our base, a nice marble-looking base, and this fits exactly on here rather beautifully. And so there we go. And you know, the way I do this is a top secret. I can't show you how to do it, or I'd have to kill you. Actually, I will tell you later. But what I got to do now is trim this off, get this mounted on here, trim this off with a Dremel tool, and paint it and primer it, and then tomorrow we can actually put the bronze on it. And there we are, a really, really, really nice Cochran bust, which looks just like the original pretty much, except the base is really cooler, because it looks like marble. But Doug asked me to do this more like the original. He said, not so dark as I've been doing them. And so this took a combination of bronze paint from Tamiya, which really isn't bronze, and then I added some all-clads, both gold and copper, and then of course I did my own patina paint, and this really, really looks the way the original did. So I'm sure Doug's going to be very happy with this. I'm about to send him a picture. Now, can I please get back to the Enterprise? Not that I'm complaining. I'm happy to do this for Doug, and Doug,
Doug and Doug, Doug and Doug and Doug and Doug. Yes, and you can get these, and I will paint them just like this for you too. They're on our website. Thanks to Doug Drexler and Dorothy Duder, who allowed us to make these a while back and still do. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Dorothy. We love you a whole bunch. Absolutely.
So now we're going to wire up Randy's Voodoo Effects board, nav board. We'll rush over here, and here's the documentation for it. And Voodoo Effects, trust me, this is a really great guy who has really great products and wonderful customer service if you ever have a problem. But this is his Pro Navigation Board PNB-1, and this one is specifically for well, this can be adapted to all kinds of nav situations because it can be reprogrammed for different blink rates and stuff, but this is set up to do the old style Enterprise, and there's no strobes on her, so we just have, and although it's got the strobe over here, we're not going to use it. We're going to be using the red and greens that that blink, and the white globes underneath, and the white ones that blink in the back. Back here, it's down here somewhere, not there where I had wrongfully put it, but right about here. So this is going to sit inside the engineering section, and I'm going to run the cables up into here for these points here, and you can see there's the one for the little half globe that's clear, and this is of course for the green, and the red goes on the other side. So we're going to solder this up. You've seen me solder before, so it's really nothing to show you. I mean, we're going to solder this up with these cables here, and get this board situated in the engineering section, and run the cables up through the neck and up into here, which I may not get to today since I have worked on a Cochran all day, but that's what we're doing now. Well, hot dog, I got Randy's board hooked up. These, of course, have to be frosted. And as it turns out, Randy gave me some big greens. Where are they? Green, 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 green. Big greens, see? Big 5mm greens. Thank you, Randy. You know, I didn't even look in that package and realize that you'd given me so many LEDs. About jumped out of my skin when I went, where'd this come from? And we got straw hats, and we got these big red ones too, which I'm going to replace these with. Although they're working just fine, I think it'll be better. And of course, underneath here, we've got to have our globes. And on mine, I stupidly put this light here. That one, they're not permanently in. They should be like this. This is how it's going to be. But I did put them in the right place this time, I think. Didn't I? Yes. Yes, that's right. Okay. I put a strip inside for general lighting to light up in here, because, you know, I'm going to do a room here, room here, room here, and some of these are going to be a little bit frosted, and that way you'll be able to see some light in there. There will be no rooms up here. These windows are all going to be clear. The back of this will be kind of a gray color and give the impression that there's rooms in there. All that stuff will be lit up tomorrow. I should have all the lighting in this model tomorrow, and then, of course, I've got to hog out these, and because this is a solid freaking piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hog this whole thing out here and put a strip of clear all the way over there. I'm going to mask off with these lights and then put the lights in behind them, which will work really good. Yeah, I think basically I want to finish off the lighting, put the rest of the rooms in here, because we have all the rooms in here. Get all that done, because that's the busy work. And then we will start taking, like, there's some indentations here which really bother me, and they're not on mine, so that means the mold is really getting old and warping bad. I've got a lot of them on here that I have to fix. We have to put in these frosted areas here that glow, but we're going to do all that lighting tomorrow, so I'm not thinking about the lighting anymore. I can start focusing on the cosmetics and getting this model put together. That means locking this stuff down here, walking this stuff to here. You see there's a warp right there that I have to fix. I mean, it's really bad, and but basically it's not warped here, so this is like pushing up or something. So I'm going to chip away some of the wood structure into here, get this down, add some Bondo in it, and completely close this up, because my slots are still there, and they're still straight and accurate for the most part for the, what do you call those things? The nacelles, the pylons. So, yeah, got to do that. And, oh, there's so much to do, but you know what? It's getting there. It's finally getting there. God, I love those rooms in there. So neat. Let's go upstairs. I saw a shot earlier that was really, really, you probably noticed that, didn't you? I got this for $11. It's scale. It is beautiful. It has tail lights. It has headlights. The door's open. $11. So I'm going to convert to a slot car, light up the headlights and stuff, and isn't that going to be cool? Anyway, we're going to turn off the lights. Oh, wow. She's coming alive. She's in dry dock. You know, the heck with light blocking that and everything else. Not much of it needs to be light blocked except this. And all I have to do is put aluminum tape from the inside in here, and I'm done. But this is what I was talking about. Not the dog at the top of the stairs. It's the dog at the top of the stairs. Scary dog. That dog. This is the shot I saw. Is that cool? I mean, I went, wow, look at that. And look how you can see everything lit up. It's ultra cool. It's really cool. And what's really cool, let's see if I can zoom in that close. Oh, I can. Now if it'll just focus. Come on, focus. There's a little button here. If I push it, it'll try to focus. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Well, I guess it doesn't want to do it. Unfortunately. We'll try it again. Better. Yeah, you can just make the bridge out in there. From up here. So I thought that was pretty cool. Sorry about the shaky camera work. When you zoom in, that happens. But I just thought that was a really neat angle. I've never seen any of my models from high up like this. So, it's still warm here because even though we're cooling off somewhat, it's certainly getting drier. The humidity has dropped way down. It's still warm in the building from days of heat. So we're going to come back tomorrow, and we're going to work on this model all day, nothing else, no Cochrans or anything else like that. We're just going to work on the Enterprise. Yep, we are. That's so cool. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow. Well, you know what? I said tomorrow. This is tomorrow. We do more of the Enterprise, but it got really late. We have an artist salon tonight where we have all these wonderful artists from all over Ventura come and get together here at the studio, and we just have a hangout. We have cheese and wine and chocolate, and they bring their art and share it, and we talk about art. It's a really cool environment, so we're getting ready for that. Plus, my old friend who you've seen on the show, Mark Siegel, is going to be here just like another hour or so, and I can't wait to see him. So we're kind of cutting the day short, but we will be back at the Enterprise tomorrow, which you will see next week, but well, you get it. So, and then we'll get back to getting that one to look like this one, okay? So we'll see you then, and remember, we so much appreciate all your support. It's incredible, you know? It's just amazing. We love you, Mary and I. We love you a real whole bunch. We'll see you next week.